This is problem number 7 from the Chapter 8 closure packet. Quinn started off with twice as much candy as Denali, but then he ate 4 pieces. When Quinn and Denali put their candy together, now they have a total of 50 pieces. So first thing says to write a system of equations to represent the situation, and then find out how many pieces of candy Denali had. So we need to first, let's define our variables, kind of just as obvious, I guess, if you want to use Q and D. So I'm going to say Q is for Quinn and D is for Denali, just so we all know what I'm talking about here. So those will be your let statements. Let Q represent the number of pieces of candy for Quinn, and let D equal the number of pieces from Denali. So we need to start, let's do the more obvious equation first. When Quinn and Denali put their candy together, they have a total of 50. So together meaning adding, so I'm going to say Q plus D, both of their pieces of candy put together is a total of 50. That one's probably the easier equation to figure out. Okay? The first sentence is where we're going to get the other equation from. So Quinn started off with, Quinn, we're talking about Quinn here, so let's say Quinn equals, he had twice as much candy as Denali, so 2 times Denali would be 2D, 2 times D, but then he ate 4 pieces of candy. Okay, so he has 4 less. It's not quite double anymore. He's going to be 4 less than that previous amount. Okay, so that's where we got the second equation from, is from the first sentence. Quinn, he had twice Denali's candy, and then he ate 4, so he lost 4 pieces because he ate them. Okay, so now we're going to use those 2 equations. Our 3 strategies for solving a system are elimination, equal values, and substitution. And I'm going to do substitution here because I know one of the variables, and I'm going to plug that in. So I'm going to replace all of this 2D minus 4 with this Q right here. So I'm going to replace those things that I circled. So I'm going to say 2D minus 4 and instead of Q, and then this part stays the same, plus D equals 50. Okay? So 2D plus D right here is 3D. That's kind of funny, 3D. So 3D minus 4 equals 50. So from here, I'm just going to solve an equation. So add 4 to both sides. So I'm going to come up here, 3D equals 54. And I'm going to divide both sides by 3 to get the D by itself. So D, or the number of pieces of candy Denali had, is 18 pieces of candy. Okay. And that's really all that the question asked for. How many pieces of candy did Denali have? So that's what we answered. But make sure you read questions and know how to find, for example, in this one, how many pieces of candy Quinn had. Oops, up here. So you know that they both started with 50, so I could just plug in 18 up here. So Q plus 18 equals 50. Subtract 18 from both sides, and you would get Q is 32. Now that wasn't asked, but it's important to know how to do that and to read the directions to see what exactly you do need to do. So for our problem today at number 7, you just had to write 2 equations, which means a system of equations, and then solve it for the pieces of candy Denali had, and he had 18 pieces.